Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick peek at Keeper. Just before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but I can summarize it really quick. We're right at 65,000, trying to break that resistance. Keeps testing 65 a few times here over the last 24 hours, so we might actually break that soon. That being said, not much else to note for Bitcoin, just kind of consolidating after getting sold off by 10% on the 10th. We're just kind of been trying to level out, so to speak, from that dip. That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Keeper. Oh, and just so you know, not a financial advisor, just want to let you know that. Obviously, this is for educational purposes, but I can tell you I've been trading for a very long time. My goal is to help you become a better trader. So feel free to check out my Patreon community. I have a trading community where I share signals for every single trade that I take. You can one-click follow if you'd like. It's a really cool situation. That being said, we're going to take a look here at the one-day chart first. Not much to note except for the fact that we're above 70 on the R side. That's pretty standard for right now. It's when the price comes below 70 in this bull run, we can kind of signify the fact that, okay, it might be dying off. But for right now, we're still very much alive for Keeper, which is a good sign. We'll see what the 4-hour chart tells us. We're above both moving averages, which is good. We'll eventually have those tested, but for right now, we're under 70 and over 50. This is perfect. This is a sweet spot I like to see on the R side of the 4-hour chart. It's a very, very good place to be. Also, we have a potential convergence going to occur, which again, there's no certainty, but they could swing upwards and the 26 swing downwards, and we get that convergence on the MACD that gives us another buy signal to go long. That's a typical place to be. Another thing we want to kind of confirm as well is on the 1-hour chart, if the Ichimoku cloud, if we can break above, which we are breaking above now, that signifies another potential convergence. So in other words, for lack of better terms, the MACD convergence on the 4-hour chart is synonymous with a break above the cloud on the 1-hour chart. At least they are very, very similar. They speak the same language. And for lack of better terms, they're pretty close. So one will happen before the other, but this is kind of a precursor letting us know that there's a good chance we're going to have a MACD convergence if this price can continue to progress a little bit higher. But the fact that it's peaking above the cloud here, and we get this candlestick to close above the cloud, we'll be in very, very good shape to kind of assume that that's a continuation, or we have that confirmation in the right direction. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So I see a lot of good things here for Keeper. There's a good chance we might do some good things here soon. Keep in mind too, the price did bounce off this support level at about 0.618. That's Fibonacci retracement line 0.618, roughly 1500. So 1500 was a strong support level, kind of affirming itself there, which makes sense. It's really close to the previous high. Also note too, we have a secondary support at about 1390, which was the previous high. So why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and mark that, because I think there's two important support levels to notice, to kind of understand. So it'll be like a nice support channel. And then we obviously have a resistance channel here in between, 1853 and upwards of 2100. Okay, so that's going to be the one to break. So right now, I think it's pretty safe to say the price is heading towards 1853. There's a strong chance we'll get there. When it breaks through that, it's important to be able to kind of consolidate right at that level, and then hopefully be able to break up to the upside there and go ahead and move past that previous all-time high, because the previous all-time high is roughly about 2050, 2060, and once we get past that, it'll be kind of off to the races. And a best case scenario here for Keeper, if it were to continue that high, we're looking about 2800 as a best case scenario. So and what I mean by best case is what it took no less than 3 days for Keeper to go a total of, nope, sorry, we're looking at this one right here, about 120%. So we had 120% increase in 3 days. So if Keeper takes off again, we could very well see that same situation occur. However, we got to be realistic in the fact that, as it gets higher, it gets more exponential in the sense that, you get that diminished return. So obviously that percentile, you're not going to get 120% return if it gets to there. It's maybe closer to 70%. But the bottom line is that it shouldn't hit that mark within the next 3 days. I think that's kind of, I don't know. I think that's a little overdoing it. I would say by month end, we're going to probably see that. Don't get me wrong, it could very well happen soon. I just like to be a little more conservative. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I'd much rather, I'd like an error on the side of caution, for lack of better terms, because if it gets better, then it's great. If it's not as good, then I hate to say I told you so, right? So right now I'm telling you that it's probably safe to say by month end, if we have a similar continuation, we have a nice push to the upside. We'll probably see in the next week or two. Again, a week or two, in my opinion, roughly closer to about 27, 2800. Now, we got a few things that need to happen for that, right? We want the one-day candlestick to close above its all-time high first. That would be the milestone number one, right? Around here, about 2050, we need the one-day candlestick to close above that. Second thing we need, of course, is the price to stay above the cloud and to continue making higher highs and higher lows. It's been doing that, right? We got these nice higher highs, these nice higher lows. So hypothetically, the next high has to be somewhere in this range here in order for this to work out. So that's why it's important. This push comes up here, comes down, consolidates, and then comes back up again. So we get that nice extra 70% profit over the next 2 weeks. Okay, that's ultimately what we're looking for there. So hopefully you found benefit here, of course. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Consider joining my trading community where I send out signals for every single trade that I take. It's an awesome, amazing experience. The rates are increasing next month, so just keep that in mind. You might want to consider locking in a rate here in November. Just something to think about. But if not, that's okay too. It's not for everyone, but I do think you'll find benefit. We retain about 90% of our members here, and it's been a great experience. So thank you so much for joining me here, and thank you to my members already, of course, for requesting that I cover this. This was a request from one of my patrons. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video. You take care now. Bye-bye.